Alrighty, hello and welcome. Welcome everybody to tonight's absolutely fantastic Dino action. Featuring, well, something very powerful, I think. We may have tried it, probably most of us have seen it in passing here and there. Yeah. Sarkhan's Unsealing. 3 in red for an enchantment. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, you deal 4 damage to any target. Of course, dinosaurs, which I always play, are naturally very powerful. Topiary Stomper, of course, the lovely thing. When it enters, you search for a basic land, you put it onto the battlefield. But now we get to deal 4 damage to any target, a planeswalker, a creature, the opponent, maybe to finish him off, or just work them down a little bit. So there's Topiary, there's Ripjaw, which is very nice to see, shifting. Regisaur Alpha is 4 power. We're seeing the return of Zilortha. But I know some of you guys are asking, you're probably thinking, hey, Tarzan, Arfie, why is there no Rotting Regisaur? For 2 and a black, a 7/6 zombie dinosaur, skeleton zone. Yeah, pretty sure it's a zombie dinosaur. Either way, if you play this game and you like dinosaurs, you probably know Rotting Regisaur. At the beginning of our upkeep, we discard a card. Sometimes that's painful because the opponent kills it with that trigger on the stack and then we don't get any benefits. Of course, we have to have Sarkhan's Unsealing down before playing Rotting Regisaur. Possibly we might be playing this on... Oh, excuse me. My goodness, I had too much for supper. But we might be playing this on turn 4 after playing our 4th land. And then finally on turn 5, we might play that Rotting Regisaur. But by turn 5, I could play Zilortha anyways. And the drawback of Rotting Regisaur is, it's quite painful. Especially if I played Rotting Regisaur and I was potentially forced to discard Sarkhan's Unsealing. That would feel pretty bad. Pretty bad, I must say. Topiary Stomper gets us to 4, maybe on turn 3. Thunderherd Migration could get us to 4 mana on turn 3. So that's pretty nice. That's why I do have Thunderherd Migration back here. We start off with 3 lands plus this, and Sarkhan's Unsealing, boom. Thunderherd Migration on turn 2. Play the 4th land on turn 3, play this, and then just go to town, pretty much. That is the idea. So we'll have to see how that lines up. Maybe I will want Rotting Regisaur, but for the most part, lots of creatures, at least 4 power, getting up to 7 power with Zilortha, and Carnage Tyrant as well. I'm starting off with Carnage Tyrant just because it is a dinosaur, it has 7 power, at least, and it is 1 less than Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is in the sideboard here. If we face control, of course, we're going to smoke him, I hope, as Tyrannosaurus Rex, well, certainly did the trick last night. My goodness. You'll definitely have to check that out if you haven't already. But basically, Carnage Tyrant because it's 1 less and also hard to deal with. The cheaper of the big scary dinos. Yeah. Oh boy. Hey. The game plan is simple. Just play the stuff and play this as early as possible, and then play other stuff after it. Of course, Sarkhan's Unsealing, you play it and it does nothing. That is a very big drawback, of course. Rough stuff, that's okay. It's a risk you take. You always want something to happen when something enters. Enter the battlefield effect, a body that is just simply on the board. Hopefully you have enough to maybe play some creature for 4 power after you play this. Possibly could be Topiary Stomper. Consider Marauding. There's reducing Topiary to 2. You have 6 mana in total, so you go Sarkhan's for 4, Topiary for 2, and then you get a shoot something for 4 damage. Probably some creature, I would imagine, but yeah, hopefully I get a cast Zilortha, Carnage Tyrant, Ghalta, and get to do that whenever we cast a creature with power 7 or greater. We deal 4 damage to each opponent, each creature, and each planeswalker they control. Pretty much this is removal for anything. planeswalkers, creatures, right to the opponent. What isn't it good against? If we have multiple Sarkhans Unsealings, of course, you double the triggers, and yeah, it's just not bad to have. If the opponent has no creatures or planeswalkers, we just hit them in the face for 4 damage, so it's not like it's going to be super dead. Again, when it lands, we have to follow up with something to get some actual value, but that's okay when you have 26 dinosaurs, 30 creatures in total, 22 that at least meet the requirement of being 4 power. And of course, if the creature is countered, it doesn't enter, we still get to do that, because it says whenever you cast, if the spell is countered or sent back to your hand or sent to the bottom of your library, whatever it is, if it never actually enters, you still get some benefit from playing that thing, which is quite nice indeed. Mana base wise, nothing too fancy. I did up it to 6 basic lands in total, 4 forests, 2 mountains, just because I might need a little bit more red to help cast Sarkhan's Unsealing, potentially. And of course, Brotherhood's End. Fantastic stuff. Tyrannix Rex, as I mentioned. Very, very good. Magmatic Chasm, the strictly worse Gruul Charm, which we're getting an Explorer Anthology. Basically the best Explorer Anthology I think they've had. It's going to be very difficult to top this Explorer Anthology 3. I'm looking forward to using a Quarter's Shield, one of the better shield equipments. Pretty fantastic, giving something +0, +3, and Vigilance. And you have a fantastic equip cost of 3 as well. It's not 4, so you got to look at the silver lining, I guess. That's how it goes. Back to nature. Hey, destroy all enchantments. That's where it's at. Inscription of Abundance. I just wanted a little bit more instant speed, single target interaction. Take out big stuff, because that was kind of causing me some pain and suffering last night. A little bit rough. I say we jump into it. We sweep some creatures. We scare away control. We fly right past anything on the ground, enchantments, and just a good all around, make something bigger, gain some life, and have something go down. Okay. What's it going to be? Maybe elementals again. Hopefully I don't get hosed quite as much as I did last night. That was pretty rough. Yeah. That's how she goes. Still a good time. Best of 3, yes. Okay. We'll get there. That is a Trappa. Mono green elves, potentially. Maybe they're preparing for that Court of Calling. Updating elves for that. This is quite fantastic. 4 lands, Marauding Raptor. Beautiful. Of course, there's no Sarkhan's Unsealing, but there could be a decent chance we get it. Of course, there is 4 copies. Marauding Raptor possibly going down to Fatal Push. Not. Oh, that is beautiful. That does not happen often. They must have just drawn that Fatal Push. They had to have just drawn it. They could have used it on Marauding Raptor the previous turn. They had that Source of Black untapped. We know they probably don't have another one. That is weird. They may have just messed up and not killed Marauding. Hard to say. Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. I'll go with Ripjaw Raptor. I couldn't attack with Shifting or Ripjaw anyways. They both cost the same, but if I had 5 mana, I may have gone Shifting. If I had 5 mana, I would have just gone Regisaur Alpha. Especially because they were tapped out. They couldn't have used the Fatal Push on the token that Regisaur Alpha makes. Hey, we gotta sacrifice Ripjaw. Well, hopefully drawing a 5th land. Regisaur Alpha, hasty on Liliana. But they do have a treasure. Hopefully they don't have that 2nd Fatal Push. Kroxa. I think it's got to be one Carnage Tyrant, unfortunately. I was thinking maybe Regisaur, Shifting, something like that. That's okay. Hopefully Shifting survives. We don't lose Shifting to the treasure token that is made with that goblin. Huntmaster probably going down to most stuff, unfortunately. And possibly I could have mulliganed that first hand just to maybe see Sarkhan's Unsealing, but it was a perfectly fantastic looking hand. I didn't want to mulligan just because I didn't see it. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. We'll see Sarkhan's Unsealing eventually. Topiary Stomper gets us to 5 lands. That's pretty good. I imagine both goblins would block Liliana. But I don't have Fatal Push. Let me think. Could be rough. I can give Shifting Ceratops Trample. Take Liliana down to 1. That's okay. Kind of like taking out the goblins, taking out those treasures. Take out their potential to make treasures. Went, oh, okay. Guess they didn't really want Liliana to... Yeah, that's odd. Huh. They didn't want Liliana to go down to 1, or they just thought maybe I have something up my sleeve. I can give Shifting Ceratops Trample and boost its power. Maybe. Tyvar's Stand, give it indestructible. Something like that. We take out Liliana anyways. I was at 5 lands. It's not like I was going to be attacking with Topiary Stomper anytime soon. They can't quite escape Kroxa. That's good. We have to watch out for Kroxa next turn, unfortunately. We may be croaking. Yeah. We'll discard Carnage Tyrant, play Shifting Ceratops afterwards, and hopefully see Sarkhan's Unsealing soon. We're almost a quarter of the way through, and it still hasn't appeared. Make some use out of that token. I imagine it likely is going down to that Blood Tithe Harvester. They could have taken out the token there, but of course they made it the token at the end of our turn. So now they have that token that sticks around, because the tokens made by Reflection of Kiki Jiki are sacrificed at the beginning of the end. So if you make them at the end of the end, it waits a whole cycle until the end of whoever's next turn. It sounds confusing, but make your tokens at the end of the end, not before. Keep it simple. Sarkhan's Unsealing, where are you at? Good buddy. Just not showing up. Huh. We could make something happen, perhaps. I mean, they can do Kroxa. We'll do Carnage Tyrant. Get the biggest and best thing. Might as well. What might they do to the token? They're going to make a lot of tokens and basically kill us next turn, unfortunately. Reflection to copy Blood Tithes, or Reflection to copy Reflection. Basically dead here. We'll see how it goes. Probably going to bring in Brotherhood's End, yeah. Almost forgot what it was called, my goodness. Are we dead? Not quite, not quite. I guess with Hive of the Eye Tyrant, probably. Now, we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, okay. We just didn't see the thing when we technically should have. Okay, Brotherhood's End it is. Smoke him. Switch out Sarkhan's Unsealing, I guess. Unfortunately. You know what? Huntmaster. Huntmaster instead. I still want to keep this. Do a bunch of damage to stuff. Brotherhood's End. Do a bunch of damage to stuff. Yeah, okay. We're going to smoke him. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Where are you at? That is Pterosaurus. My goodness. I'm always worried about that fact. Try to take it out. Attack with the best stuff. Of course, I could have blocked the Kiki Jiki and one of the goblins. They would have made some treasures. It may not have made a whole lot of difference. And I'm even drinking a cup of coffee, my goodness, but yeah, it may not have made a whole lot of difference. However, Brotherhood's End is, well, it's not going to bring an end with this hand. That's not going to do it. No siree. No. Okay, hey, we got Thunderherd Migration. Fantastic to see my old friend, my good buddy. I'm going to send a mountain to the bottom. We got 3 lands plus Thunderherd, meaning we have 4. As long as Thunderherd Migration doesn't get discarded by Thoughtseize. Oh my goodness, that was scary stuff. They have a Source of Black untapped. However, I'm going to play Marauding Raptor, and they're going to prepare with a Fatal Push because I'm going to play it next turn. They're ready and waiting. But then I just don't play it. Huh. Oh my goodness. I wonder if they're going to Fatal Push. No. Can't Fatal Push a Topiary Stomper. Now we're at 5 lands. You can see how lovely this was. This stable ramp, getting basic lands. Of course, I haven't moved away completely from Thunderherd Migration forever, but it is a pretty good fact right there. You can't Fatal Push a basic. Turn 2, we get ahead by 1 forever. Sometimes. You don't always draw land on the following turns to actually stay ahead. But if you have 2 lands in Thunderherd Migration, you might not draw the 4th land. However, Marauding plus Shifting Ceratops, I do like. There might be Stomp on Shifting after it's pinged by Marauding. We'll have to see. Hopefully that's not the case, but at the very least, that would mean Marauding Raptor is still sticking around. Stomp. Heartless Act. Huh. Okay. Pretty good. Well, at least it wasn't Shieldred. They had 4 mana, so it's always a lovely time when it's not that. And there's that Fatal Push. Yeah. Got 5 mana, got Regisaur Alpha. Still don't have Sarkhan's Unsealing. Hopefully they don't have another Fatal Push in hand. Apply a little bit of pressure with this token, because I'm certain it's going to go down. Okay. Ugh, I jinx myself. Nuts. That's alright. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Where are you at? Gonna play that land, of course. I'm at 6. If I draw the 7th land next turn, it would be pretty good for Topiary Stomper. Still need some way to bust through. Of course, Sarkhan's Unsealing a little bit earlier would have been nice. Can't always happen. Certainly might not happen in the first few matches. That's okay. That's the beauty of being live. There's the Stomp. Oh, the Bone Crusher Giant. Flooded. Maybe I should go back down to 18 lands. Like a crazy person. Of course, well, I almost didn't play it. I forgot that I want 7 lands to turn on Topiary Stomper. We'll just sit back, relax, at least for a little bit, to Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to attack. Of course, Shieldred would stop Regisaur Alpha or Topiary Stomper, Bone Crusher, trading with one of those. Blood Tithe Harvester, trade with Marauding, and oh my goodness, where is Brotherhood's End? It's not like I have a crazy amount of lands. That's just how it goes. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Of course, if we draw Sarkhan's Unsealing, now again, like I mentioned, it does literally nothing. So that is a, well, you can't do worse than nothing. That is pretty bad. Something to keep in mind. Of course, you'll probably learn that if you do try this variation. Token, trade with Bone Crusher. Do I want to save Regisaur? Is there any big benefit of saving Regisaur? I'm going to take Shieldred's damage because I kind of feel like they have another copy of Shieldred in their hand. Maybe that's why they attacked with her. Of course, if I double blocked to take out Shieldred, I would lose both those creatures, so that's also not the greatest thing. However, I will keep this Topiary Stomper, in the hopes that I draw Sarkhan's Unsealing next turn. I can play it for 4 plus Topiary. I have plenty of lands at this point. They really should have just attacked with the Blood Tithe and Mutavault, or done in the Bugbear, taking us low enough. Oh. Well, it doesn't do a whole lot. Can we save ourselves? Well, yeah. Well, potentially. Actually, no, I don't think so. With, yeah. Yes, the flood. The flood. That's the song playing right now? Was that the song previously? Yeah, no. I'm going to play Topiary Stomper, take some stuff out. Yeah. Sometimes the thing doesn't happen nearly when you want it to. Might be able to save myself. I'll give it a honest effort. Oh, goodness, I must be tired if I forgot that reference. We even talked about the flood. Yeah. Sometimes you can't escape it. The flood comes for everybody. Nobody is immune to it, and that is how it goes. Yeah. Okay. Well, it can't go much worse than that. Let's see that Sarkhan's Unsealing, hopefully on turn 3. Maybe talking about the flood kind of reverse jinxed it. And it won't happen. No more flooding all night. No flood for you. Yeah. Maybe I should green screen, record myself. Little clips, parodies of famous scenes. No flood for you. Like the Soup Nazi or something like that. No flood for you. Nah. Of course we do see it, but again, 1 land. No mana screw for you. Boo. Wow. This actually is quite fantastic. We got 3 lands, Karplusan, Mountain, and Castle Garenbrig. Of course, Castle Garenbrig has to be the first land. Because, again, I don't have an actual forest to help it enter the battlefield untapped. Yeah, I like the looks of that. Rakdos once again, maybe. Maybe it's mono red. They're thinking of saving that one for play with fire on the Llanowar elves. I don't know. Something like that. Hopefully it's not lightning strike or a braid. maybe they tap out. I'd be quite surprised if that was the case. If it was, Shifting Ceratops might survive the ping that Marauding gives it, and they would only have to deal an extra 2 damage to finish it off. Ooh, good. You just have 1. Could be play with fire, unfortunately, but we'll draw it out. Hopefully that means Regisaur Alpha is going to connect nicely next turn, and we've learned they don't have anything at instant speed for 1 that at the very least deals 2 damage. They may have nothing. Furnace Punisher, well, we've got 2 basic lands, so yeah, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, it deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Hey, but boom, bing, bang, boom, get the job done. They played 3 for a 4/4 menace, pretty much. Of course, we'll attack with Shifting and Marauding. If they want to trade with the Punisher, we're going to continue to punish them with overwhelming amounts of damage. Ooh, I like it. Ah, okay. Either one would have gone down. Perhaps they were scared. They wanted to take out Marauding Raptor, being a 6/3 compared to Shifting Ceratops' 5/4. Oftentimes, Marauding Raptor is not a 6/3. It's more often a 4/3, which is certainly less scary. But there is the cost reduction. Maybe they were worried about us being able to play something big and scary with that. Another Shifting. That's quite fantastic. Has haste, of course. We'll give trample to either Shifting, whichever one is blocked. I don't imagine both are going to go down, so that's good. Ooh. Yeah, they just weren't fast enough. It's not exactly mono red aggro. Don't often see Furnace Punisher. Fine by me. Attack with the Dino. Yeah. I love this song. Oh, they're all good ones. Sounds like it's kind of like the ref, or this mono red player is calling the ref because they want a timeout because they think this is not fair. This is the most fair you could be playing. Stoke the flames. No? Give it trample, win. Almost. Close enough. They had to double up on removal. That was pretty good. Double up-ish. Good. They could have something that takes out Regisaur or the Toad. Okay, they don't. Alright. Well, it seems a little bit more costly. Maybe kind of mono-red aggro-ish. It's not a whole lot of creatures for 1 or 2. We've seen a few creatures for 3 with the Rampaging Ferocidon, the Furnace Punisher. Of course, Brotherhood's End makes pretty darn good sense. Trim Huntmaster. I'm going to Trim Huntmaster. Inscription of Abundance. One Sarkhan's Unsealing. Inscription of Abundance, of course, when we cast it, we can choose to gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures we control. If we kick it, we're putting those counters on a creature, gaining life, fighting a creature. It's just a lovely, lovely package all around, especially for a deck like this. Of course, mono red could kill us pretty darn fast, as they're known to do. Yeah, it's kind of rough. I don't even have a single source of red. I need at least 1 for Marauding, and I need 2 for Brotherhoods. Of course, Topiary Stomper could be the thing that eventually grabs the second source of red. Nah, I'm going to mulligan. Better-ish, I think. I was thinking of sending Ghalta to the bottom, but having 2 Maraudings could really supercharge it. Possibly Getting a very surprising Ghalta out at some point. Stacking the temporary buff in power, cost reduction. Very, very good potential here. And I do have 2 sources of red with the Mountain and Karplusan Forest, so I could go Brotherhood's End if it makes sense to do so, but we'll get that Marauding. Play the second Marauding next turn with Karplusan Forest. Well, I'll have 2 left over, because this Marauding costs 1. I could save something with 2 I don't think I'm saving anything. They looked at that Marauding. They're going to kill it. Stoke the flames, maybe. No. A braid. A braid is quite fantastic. That does the trick. Yeah, just Topiary Stomper. Let's get to the 4th land. Possibly get the 5th land next turn. Go Regisaur Alpha, Ghalta, perhaps the turn after that. Or, of course, Inscription like I was mentioning. If we kick it, we need a total of 5 to do so. Of course, I'd rather wait for Ghalta. Gaining 12 life is a whole lot better than gaining 4 life. Topiary Stomper possibly being the biggest creature I have out. Yeah, well, we'll see. Worth a shot. I'd rather get the land. Marauding possibly could have gone down. No? Could be, oh, we can't gain life. Well, that's no good. Yeah. That's how she goes. Of course, Brotherhood's End, smoking all the creatures they have. Would have been nice. That's okay. Worth a try. I think I rather would have had the basic land than have Marauding Raptor. We get ahead. We can't use Topiary Stomper to block, but I'm closer to Regisaur Alpha or the other stuff. Well, yeah, hopefully seeing Brotherhood's End. Maybe if it's a somewhat so-so hand, I might mulligan. Hopefully to see 1 copy of Brotherhoods. And we've taken them down once, scared them a little bit, so that's pretty nice. Brotherhoods. Cross your fingers. Well, it's not Brotherhood's End, but it's a pretty darn fantastic looking hand. Rootbound Crag, of course, to start. Karplusan Forest, untapped. Going to be grabbing... Yeah, Forest. We've got plenty of sources of red. Everything at the moment is a source of red. So that's good. Marauding? No. Ripjaw next turn. Inscription afterwards, Zilortha, potentially. Although Zilortha does kind of hurt Ripjaw Raptor. Being a 4/5, it's kind of like it turns Ripjaw into a 4/4. Lethal damage dealt to creatures we control is determined by their power, so it's a little bit of a drawback, but not a major one. Play those creatures. You got to play as much as possible. Of course, Soulscar Mage turns damage, non-combat damage. Yes, non-combat damage into -1/-1 counters. So we'll really have to hope that doesn't happen. Gonna try and take out the Soulscar Mage if at all possible. Could be double play with fire, something. Ouch. Yeah. Brotherhood's End. You can do it. That's not Brotherhood's End. Gotta pay 2, get 2 bodies. I like that. Hopefully some of them survive. Maybe. Might be able to do some nice stuff with that inscription. Ooh, they got something up their sleeve. Sneaky shenanigans. Of course, I imagine any creature I block with is going to go down. They'll have something that deals 2, 3 damage. Oh, okay. So that's what they do. Huh. Well, I'll try and take out Soulscar Mage at the very least. I don't think it's going to happen, but... sometimes you just don't get them. Brotherhood's End. Ah, swear it is the darn Brotherhood's End. Well, we're definitely not winning that one. Yeah. Didn't really get flooded. A little bit flooded. Of course, Soulscar Mage is the bane. Would have been nice to draw a card with Nahiri's Wrath there. It dealt 5 damage, or it didn't actually deal 5 damage. It put 5 counters on Ripjaw, so, well, we didn't get that enrage trigger, sadly. Maybe I just need to jam all 4 Brotherhoods, because against the decks that I want Brotherhoods for, I really want it. So I want to see it as often as possible. Yeah. I'll give it a go. We're going first, which is quite nice. Mono black potentially with these sleeves, which is quite scary, quite scary. I misclicked there. Maybe I should have saved it for the Thoughtseize. That mono blue spirits. Okay. That is a surprise. Quite. Well, it's going to be rough. Hopefully it's no Curious Obsession. On the Mausoleum Wanderer, they start drawing it. Well, it may be all over here. To have a Geistlight Snare for 1 is not fun. Geistlight Snare for 1 gets the job done. If they do that, we may have to run and start the next match, or at least the next game. Reduced by the enchantment and the spirit. Oh my goodness, I've never played against mono blue spirits in my life. Never saw that coming. Wow. I just got lucky, I guess. Hashtag pre-recorded. We'll just keep dropping stuff and hope they don't have another. We would have gotten the Carnage Tyrant next turn, which is quite nice. They might flash in the spirit, the one rattle chains, yes. So hopefully it's no Supreme Phantom, or else we're supremely dead. I haven't actually faced spirits in, I want to say, a couple weeks. At least 2 weeks, I feel. Rending Volley, of course, is quite nice. No Supreme Phantom, also very good. Yeah. They just haven't been very common for me, at least. Which is pretty nice. Of course, Shifting Ceratops is pretty good. Is there any way we can get out of this? No. We have nothing that can block flying. They're at least dealing 8 damage next turn. If it was Supreme Phantom, we're definitely dead. Big time dead. I kind of still like Sarkhan's Unsealing. Oh, it is. And we had Shifting Ceratops, Pterosaurus. Shifting Ceratops is pretty much always in there, either in the sideboard, but for the most part, it is a dino. Maybe it's not as nice and flashy as other creatures that cost a mana value of 4. But when you factor in potential cost reduction, of course, this can get countered or killed. This can get countered or killed. But when they live, often enough they live. You play Shifting for 3 or 2, you give it haste. It's a fantastic body all around. It's quite respectable. You have at least some chance against decks that have counter spells, mono blue spirits. Not so much Azorius, because they have some white stuff that can deal with Shifting. get around that protection from blue, but the sneaky reach, trample, haste, you might as well slap it in. It's not like it's going to make your deck bad. You might not be playing dinosaurs. It could just be regular Gruul. Put it in. That's good. Give yourself a fighting chance against maybe some decks that, well, were giving you trouble. They're going to give you a little bit less trouble with that. But I'm kind of thinking Tranix Rex. Carnage Tyrant. Don't exactly like Ripjaw, although if we get an early Ripjaw, that is going to be quite nice indeed. Zilortha. 2 Inscription of Abundance. I could try Brotherhood's End. Maybe. I'm going to do Brotherhood's End. Trim 3 Sarkhan's Unsealing. Brotherhood's End, maybe I can surprise them. I attack with some stuff. I try to play a Dino for cheap. They counter it, they tap out, and then I go Brotherhood's End afterwards. Something like that. But hopefully at least, well, Shifting Ceratops will not shine with this hand, because it's pretty darn bad. Oh boy. Well, that's a lot better. I like it. We'll send 1 Carnage Tyrant to the bottom, keep all the lands, make sure we keep hitting those drops. Hopefully get something else for 3 or 4. Well, that's... I almost had that enter tapped. Of course, I want Huntmaster to enter. Could have played Rootbound Crag. That would have certainly been better. Because I did have a Forest Door Mountain with Sheltered Thicket. That was my first land. There's that Supreme Phantom. Stomping Ground. Get to Carnage Tyrant next turn. I don't imagine they'll have anything that can deal with Huntmaster. Maybe they leave some stuff on tap because they're ready and waiting to do something to someone. But you can't do a whole lot to Carnage Tyrant. Not sure why they did that. Kind of weird. Hopefully Huntmaster survives. They really should have... Oh, they want to counter Topiary Stomper when I try and replay it. But I'm not going to try and replay it. Wow, they're like, ooh, I got you know what, ready and waiting. What's it going to be? Could be Ether Gust, sadly. Hasty. We're going to do as much damage as possible. I can't block anything. They could supercharge Ascendant Spirit and get it to flying. They haven't leveled it up yet. I think they have to do it twice, I believe. I don't think we're quite dead yet. But it's not fun. It's not looking too good. Brotherhood's End could be quite nice, although I don't imagine we're getting that off. Well, Brotherhood's End not doing much of anything. Another hasty Carnage Tyrant, a total of 14. That Supreme Phantom would have to block. Ascendant Spirit. No, they'd still get us. Yeah. Everything would be tapped. The Huntmaster, both Carnage Tyrants. Faceless Haven would hit us, and that would... Well, that would be enough right there. So yeah, we just didn't see an early Shifting Ceratops. No Brotherhood's End. But again, if we had seen it, everything was past 4 toughness, other than that Spectral Sailor, or past 3 toughness. Well, can't get them always. But you can always start with Shifting. At least 4 copies. Do 4 copies. 2 is not enough. Don't have 2 in the sideboard and think, ooh, this is pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to bring Shifting Ceratops in, and I'm going to see it often. You're not going to see it often enough. And it's good enough. Against enough. Well, had to be a turn 1 Thoughtseize or Duress. They're going to get rid of Thunderherd Migration if they know what's good for them. If they don't, they goofed up. So cross your fingers and let's hope. Get rid of Sarkhan's Unsealing. You can do... Okay. That was good. They at least know a little bit of what to do. 2 Sarkhan's Unsealing. My goodness. Well, we'll try for Marauding. Dead. That's okay. I saw the lands, I saw Marauding and all that other stuff. And I said, let's get that 4th land. Where's that 4th land? We'll wait another turn or 2. If we don't see it by then, we're definitely dead. We're probably dead at the moment, unfortunately. Land, you can do it. I mean, it's technically land, but no. Yeah. Maybe could have played Shifting. I would have had something with 5 power that could potentially have blocked Shieldred, but of course there could have been a good chance that they had removal for something or someone. We'll get Sarkhan's Unsealing to happen sometime. But again, it's pretty rough. You could just have straight up interaction, something that does multiple things. Could be Inscription of Abundance. It's kind of like your Sarkhan's Unsealing. You gain some life, you make something bigger, you take something out. Of course, it's very different than Sarkhan's, but doing lots. Or just something that takes out multiple creatures, as Sarkhan's Unsealing has the potential to do. Maybe you play some creatures early and then you're saving something, or you draw that something that allows you to divide damage, take out multiple targets. Of course, if you drew Sarkhan's in that place, you'd play it, do nothing. Well, that's okay. I'm just always happy still to feature any of your guys' suggestions. It might work, it might not, but I'm not afraid. No fear, no limits, no excuses. Other than it just doesn't happen sometimes. Yeah. I like the look of this, of course. Thunderherd Migration, very nice. We get ahead by 1. You can't fail to push a basic land. Reveal Topiary Stomper. We'll be at 4 next turn, so we can go Huntmaster for 2, Topiary for 2. Lovely package right there. Blood Tithe Harvester, don't care too much about that because there's the Sarkhan's Unsealing. Let's go. Ooh, play that because we can go Huntmaster and Topiary. Yeah, I like it. Or if I draw Castle Garenbrig, I think I have Castle Garenbrig. I could just play Carnage Tyrant and just smoke everybody. Beautiful. Oh man, they're going to be devastated. Huntmaster and Topiary this turn. We take out Blood Tithe. Regisaur next turn. We smoke everybody again and again and again and again. Beautiful. Good. Yeah, a little bit too late. I get to play the thing. Maybe they fatal push Huntmaster. I don't know if it matters at this point, because now everything we play is good. That's about the best opening I can hope for. I figured it would happen at least once tonight. But now you see the great potential. Carnage Tyrant sweeps everything one-sided. Hey, I don't care. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Pterosaurus, okay. A brief rundown for anybody that missed the start. When you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, we deal 4 damage to any target, a person, a planeswalker, a creature. When we cast a creature with power 7 or greater, we deal 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and each planeswalker they control, so not our own. Pretty stunning, pretty fantastic. Let's smoke that Bone Crusher Giant and basically win from here on out. Whenever we cast a creature, we kill a creature, or we deal damage straight to their face if they have no creatures left, which could be a pretty good chance. Beautiful. Yeah, Fatal pushed that thing. Who cares? Not me. What doesn't Sarkhan's Unsealing do? It removes planeswalkers, creatures. It removes opponents. Oh, absolutely. Let's take out my stuff. I'm going to take out your stuff. Nah, make me sacrifice it. Do it. Yeah, nuts. Whatever am I going to do? Shifting Ceratops hasty. We take out Liliana. That's pretty good. I mean, when it goes off, it goes off. You got to admit. Now the question becomes, is it worth Sarkhan's Unsealing doing nothing for these moments? Or maybe. Yeah, Carnage Tyrant. I like it. I can give Shifting Ceratops haste, so a bunch of damage will continue on through, which is lovely. I just felt like Carnage Tyrant just to have a nice bigger body, deal 4 damage to them, deal a bunch of damage to Sheoldred, and maybe definitely make him not want to block shifting. Oh, Regisaur Alpha. Beautiful. Bye-bye Goblin token. Ah, no, I'll hit him right to the face. Ah, yeah. There you go. Oh, man, that was... Oh, I forgot the boom. Explosion. Okay. A little bit late on the draw there, but you get one down, and it makes everything good. There's some risk. There's certainly some reward. So hopefully it happens once again. It's hit or miss. Of course, you could value consistency. You play a thing, it always does a thing. You know what it's always going to do. This, really good, really bad. Yeah. That's up to you to decide. If you want to use it. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to it. I do believe if they have the choice between Thunderherd Migration or Sarkhan's Unsealing, they're probably going to get rid of Sarkhan's Unsealing. After that, they're like, heck no, I don't want to deal with it. 3 lands though, hey, we've got Huntmaster, possibly giving Shifting haste. Of course, Huntmaster could die. Good. I kept that hand specifically because it was only lands and creatures. You can't discard anything. We're not forced to discard anything. They just reveal our hand for 1 black, which is pretty good. Kroxa. I'll get rid of Carnage Tyrant just because it is the costliest thing. Keep everything low and safe. Castle Garenbreak. I won't take 2 damage if I don't have to. I didn't know I had Castle Garenbreak, so I did give them a little bit of extra information. Not that it made a whole lot of difference. They know most of the stuff we have. I'll take 2. Yeah, this is the stuff of legend. Marauding for 1, Shifting for 2, hasty. We take out Obnixilis 100%. That is absolutely what I want to do. I'm going to take Obnixilis out with Marauding Raptor. Make use of the temporary buff. Shifting is behind. It could block, do something. that sort of thing. Shieldred, huh? Well, it's not normally too fun. However, we're going to go with Regisaur Alpha. We power up Marauding Raptor so that it can also threaten Shieldred plus Shifting Ceratops. Do I want to attack with everything? Nah, I'll just attack with the two things that would take her out. And we'll see what happens. Good, good. Maybe the token, maybe Regisaur Alpha. Block Shieldred. Hopefully everybody sticks around. The Sarkhans would be quite lovely, but sometimes you see, well, you just don't even need it. Play lots of good bodies, you get lots of damage, and perhaps Sarkhans is, well, certainly not necessary, but it is always fun. Hey, reveal more lands and more creatures. Love it. Oh, there you go. That you mentioned Duress Pterosaurus, and I think that was the good luck charm. That felt good. Probably felt good for all you guys watching. Oh, brought the pain. Smash Rakdos. I think it was Grixis, actually. We saw them, well, I saw them cycle this Xander's Lounge. Interesting, but I'm going to call it Rakdos in the chapters when I write them, because I really did only see black and red stuff. Sarkhans again. I'm just happy it went off. Like all the stuff I feature, whether or not I keep playing it for multiple days in a row, but at least the thing for a night, it happened. This Guilty Dog person, I faced him before. That name sounds familiar. At least I do have Back to Nature, destroying all enchantments, since we are most likely facing 5-color Fires of Invention, Enigmatic Incarnation, sacrifice enchantments, cheat out some stuff. So we do have a little bit of a chance. Of course, I do like 3 Back to Natures. A little bit more comfortable than 2, because destroying all enchantments certainly helps against a deck that is pretty much all enchantments, or their game plan hinges on key enchantments. At least it wasn't a leyline binding. It would have been nice to draw it out on Topiary Stomper, because it's not doing a whole lot for us. I'm going to get Castle Garenbrig, make 6 green, so I can play Shifting for 4, use 1 for haste, and 1 for trample. I don't think the Goblin is going to block, but you never know. Might happen. Okay. Phew. Oh, they discarded 2 lands. Maybe they're flooded. They don't have a whole lot, or they just got a Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, it's very similar to Leyline Binding, temporarily exiling something. Yeah. Rotting and Ripjaw, fantastic stuff. I like it. Double hasty shifting next turn, maybe. Can make 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I can do that. Both shifting for a total of 6 plus 2 more, give them both haste. Of course, I might want trample. Fortunately, we haven't seen Fires of Invention quite yet. Never mind. We've Enigmatic Incarnation. Heliod. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, okay. Ooh, ooh. And I can play Shifting. Oh my goodness, folks, this is where it's at. And I got 7 lands. Shifting Ceratops, take out Heliod, bing bang boom, get her done. Smoke them. Oh, wow. Maximum aggression. Go, 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 go. Yeah, that's nice. Who cares? I took out Reflection and wow. Boom, yeah. So because I could follow up with a creature in Sarkhans, it's like Sarkhans was a sorcery for 4 that dealt 4 damage to any target. But now it's going to continually deal more damage. So anything you play after the first creature that, you know, deals some damage, hey, that's just gravy. Man, Beseiju. We got 3 more Sarkhans. Maybe we don't see it. Even if we don't, hey, that's fine by me. That's gotta be it. I don't see how that isn't. Oh. Boom. There you go. And we took him down without revealing back to nature. But if Guilty Dog has faced me or remembers facing me before, maybe they know that's coming up. What do I want to take out? Hard to say. Sarkhan's was a pretty good all-star. Maybe the game has gone late before you got cost reduction, or the game goes late for you. You have enough to play it, play something else. Again, you might have a total of 6. Sarkhans for 4. Topiary for 2. You get a basic land. You deal 4 damage to any target. Maybe have other costly things for following turns. 4 damage to a target. 4 damage. 4 damage to everything. Maybe I should play a few more Zilorthas. That's pretty good. But I do have to cut something. A Ghalta. I think Ghalta and Zilortha. I want to keep Carnage Tyrant. They can't target it with any of their exiling things, so that's pretty good. I mean, I'm going to give it a go. We've taken them down once before. So that should work out. Maybe Huntmaster goes off. Of course, we have Castle Garenbrig, which could help get to Carnage Tyrant a little bit sooner. They have a swamp, forest, island, plains. They need a mountain to play Leyline Binding for 1, so we're safe for a turn at the very least. Hopefully Huntmaster isn't taken down this turn. Maybe it's just another Triome. Yeah. They're saving that Leyline Binding for something a little bit bigger than Huntmaster. Waiting for me to give it haste and... oh, well. I'm pleasantly surprised. I figured they were going to do something with the 2 mana that they had untapped. Okay. So they don't have Leyline Binding. At least we have confirmed that, which is quite nice indeed. We've got Regisaur, which is going to be super duper. I imagine if they're going to deal with anything, it's going to be Regisaur. So Huntmaster is going to continue to stick around. We're going to get Carnage Tyrant next turn, maybe. Do it. Yeah, well, I know what I'm going for. Oh! Ooh. Oh! Wow. You don't even need Back to Nature. You just need Otepec Huntmaster. Better than that dinky Llanowar Elves. You can't do that with Llanowar Elves now, can you? Of course, Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, it depends if you have lots of stuff that has a mana value of 3. You play an elf on turn 1, you have 3 mana on turn 2 with your second land and the elf. Then you might play Topiary Stomper, Domri Anarch of Bolas, but lots of you guys know I don't exactly prefer the elves. That's alright. Okay, packs. Rare wildcard. I guess I did get it from the wheel there, so hopefully it's a double rare wildcard. It is not. Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. I really should try some of these Lord of the Rings cards. See if there's anything that would be kind of fun with dinos. Maybe some wacky equipment. Halfling elves. Half dinos. Dino orcs. Dorks. Oh my goodness. Combining Dinos and orcs makes dorks. Wow. Wow, that's next level stuff right there. I might try that. Dorky Dino. It wouldn't be a very good mixture. It wouldn't really have a whole lot of synergy, but yeah. Sarkhan's Unsealing certainly makes a lot of sense and has synergy because lots of dinos are at least 4 power. Well, that's not going to work. Excuse me. That will be quite lovely. Castle Garenbrig, Karplusan Forest. Again, it has to be Castle Garenbrig because we need a forest to have this enter untapped. And never forget, Karplusan Forest is not a forest, but it's called forest. Don't make that mistake. I did it like a couple times when it first released, and never again. I burnt it into my brain. Nah. Yeah. I'll play it safe. Send the costliest thing to the bottom. I don't know what I'm against, of course, so... Ooh, Esper Control, potentially. Well, they probably have removal. They are in blue, black, and white. I think there's a pretty good chance Huntmaster would have gone down. I'll reveal Topiary Stomper. They'll save a counter spell. Then I'll play Shifting, and they can't counter that. Maybe they're going to use their mana for something else, but hopefully it goes to waste. Now, they could kill it with something white or... Oh. We may have dodged a sensor or something else. They're like, oh, nuts, I prepared for something and then you did something else. Surprise. Maybe they counter this. Maybe they only have something that makes us pay 1 or 2. Of course, we have nothing left, so we'll draw that counter spell out. I think. Oh, nuts. I never saw that coming in my life. Beautiful. At the very least, I would imagine this Topiary Stomper gets down. I hope. Hopefully Shifting is safe. They didn't take Shifting out. I imagine if they were able to, they would have done so on a previous turn. They don't have black or white based removal, maybe. Could also be Wandering Emperor. I'm going to test the waters with this Topiary, and it would be nice getting to 5 mana for Regisaur Alpha. Technically, I'm at 6 with Castle Garenbrig's ability to make 6 green. I don't have that Carnage Tyrant, unfortunately, which, that's too bad. Do we want to draw out something? Maybe. Draw out that Wandering Emperor. Oh, I like it. Putting the Shifting Ceratops to sleep another way. Okay. Well, we still got 2 bodies. At the very least, I'm playing something. Authority of the Consuls. Unfortunately, creatures we control enter the battlefield tapped, so that really is going to slow down the aggression. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, the opponent gains 1 life. That's unfortunate. Well, we'll try for Regisaur Alpha. Use up the most mana we can this turn, get 2 bodies, get more power on the board, and hope it happens. Hopefully getting to 7 lands for Topiary Stomper at some point. Of course, Topiary Stomper, lovely stuff. I played it for 2 and I got a basic land, so if it never becomes a creature down the line, that's still okay, because 2 for a basic land, that's lovely. Having it sometimes become a creature is just kind of like the icing on the cake, I think. Of course, if you play Topiary Stomper for 3, because you don't have cost reduction, that definitely feels bad. It's, a risk I'm usually willing to take. Even though for the past few days I haven't been using Topiary Stomper, I'd like to switch it up a bit, see how this feels, see how that feels. Shark Typhoon. Could they have a sweeper next turn? That's definitely a possibility. I'm kind of tempted to go Regisaur to get a bunch more bodies online. I can go Thunderherd. Yeah, we'll go Thunderherd for 2. Reveal Ripjaw. Play it. We get a land. We get a creature. It's not quite as much power, but we still deal some damage to him. We just hope there's no Supreme Verdict or something else. They have to have a sweeper this turn or they're dead. So I'm pretty sure that's the case. If it is a sweeper, that shark that is made when they cast the sweeper does go away. So we still don't have to worry too. Ugh. A Lotus Field. Wow. Ooh. Somebody's preparing for Lotus Field in Explorer. They got Sylvan Awakening, Thespians, whatchamacallit. They don't have all the pieces. Hidden Strings, Hidden Stirrings, whatever. It lets you untap 2 permanents. So. Settle the Wreckage. Wandering Emperor. I'll try for a Zilortha. I still feel like preserving Regisaur Alpha. Wandering Emperor gets them to 9. The token and Ripjaw is 7. Plus Huntmaster. Okay. We'll hope it's not Settle the Wreckage. Gotta be Wandering Emperor. Somebody. Huh. Well, that's also pretty good. Maybe now they have a sweeper. They're gonna have some. Oh. Well, okay, okay. Woo. Boom. Boom once again. Well, we got fortunate. However, I absolutely despise Authority of the Consoles. Dinos, lots of haste, at least the way I play them. Huntmaster, hasty stuff. Regisaur, hasty to everything. We play this and then we play other stuff and we get to use it that turn. But not so with this. And Shark Typhoon. And I think there could be other enchantments in the mixture. I kind of have a feeling that's the case. Maybe. Hard to say, but they'll definitely keep in Authority of the Consoles, even though we got fortunate. We didn't see any sweeper. Authority didn't slow us down enough, but it definitely has the potential to do so. So I definitely think I want those 2 back to natures. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Well, there's not a whole lot of planeswalkers or creatures to take out. It really would only be damage straight to the opponent's face. Excuse me. Trim it. 2 Ripjaws. Bringing those Tyrannix Rex is certainly a lot scarier than Ripjaw. Of course, it might never be dealt damage. Maybe they kill Marauding. We play Ripjaw with 4 lands, and it just sits there, and it feels kind of bad. Maybe. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Surprise them with that back to nature. Make them feel extra sad. Their feelings would sour. Would be pretty cool to finish them off with Sarkhan's Unsealing. Hopefully getting multiple copies out at once, doing multiple instances of that damage. But you get the idea. You can imagine, and it doesn't happen often. Chances are it won't happen often for you, but yeah, you saw it happen once. You know the potential. Play it, make everything else removal and a body. Of course, it is nice to see 2 Carnage Tyrants and Shifting, but that's not enough. It is better. We're on the draw, so we have 2 chances to get that second land. Of course, I love Shelter Ticket. I don't have a whole lot of stuff for 1. Sometimes I have nothing for 1. So it's nice to go that first and cross my fingers. I'm going to do that. It's not always recommended. Send Ripjaw to the bottom because, again, there's a pretty low chance we draw some cards. Don't have very good replacements for Ripjaw anyways, so I left a few copies in. Ooh. We'll get there next draw. It's going to be that land. Sometimes I just like risking it for the heck of... One day we will find it. Land. Where's the flood when you need it? I'm just interested to see how long it takes to get the second one at this point. Imagine there's not a whole lot of coming back. Hey, we got it. And they're tapped out. So we get the third land. Whew. We're rolling in it. Beautiful. Oh, man. They better be scared. Watch out. We might draw a 4th land next turn. That's pretty good stuff. That's not a 4th land. Like, could they have a counter spell? I'll try for Thunderherd again. Maybe it is Drawer Disruption wanting us to pay an extra one, so I could potentially pay that extra one with the untapped Shelter Ticket there. Now I'm ahead by 1 forever. Lotus Field. Not Lotus Field. Interesting. They still might have it. They played the Strict Proctor, which turns off Lotus Field's ability, or the trigger. They simply don't pay an extra 2 for Lotus Field's trigger, so they don't have to sacrifice lands. It just enters the battlefield tapped, and, well, things go downhill from there. Could I make something happen? I'll still try. Huntmaster, Marauding, Topiary. Marauding. I can just play all the Maraudings if they have a sweeper. Well, but if they don't have a sweeper, Marauding Raptor is not going to deal 2 damage to whatever I play. They don't get powered up, but Topiary Stomper doesn't die. Shifting doesn't die, which is kind of nice. It's like I pay 1 and creatures you control cost 1 less. And I have a 2/3. Pretty good. And we're kind of getting something together here. I guess maybe they'll sweep us. Maybe they won't. Huh. Certainly Topiary. I'm going to pay that extra 2 to... Is that... Yeah, that's Topiary's ability. Okay. Want to make sure I'm not paying for Marauding's ability. Ah. Shifting. Maybe they have the sweeper. Maybe they don't. We're about to find out next turn. There's the farewell. So they discarded a farewell. It means it might definitely be a farewell because... Yeah. Attack with everything. We're not quite dead to their creatures. Of course, they'll probably attack with the Ledger Shredder and the Strict Proctor. Take us down to 2. Ooh, yeah. Nuts. Actually, that's pretty good. They exiled their own... Oh! They goofed up. They goofed up. Folks, they forgot their own creatures had a mana value of 2. But,
juice! Whoa! My goodness! Out of nowhere!
Wow. Okay. Okay, I'll take it. That was pretty fantastic stuff. They probably didn't have a whole lot. They got rid of Farewell because they didn't have a 6 land in hand. They wanted something. They're like, oh yeah, temporary lockdown. Exile that stuff. Then they play it and... Oh, you missed it. Hey, that's all right. You definitely want to rewatch that. Taking down Esper Control in 2. Certainly doesn't always happen. It has happened before, but I wouldn't have expected that with... Yeah. Pretty good. So yeah, temporary lockdown. It's not just creatures. It is non-land permanents. So they played this. They exiled their Strict Proctor, the Authority, and the Ledger Shredder, and my creatures, but I still had lovely creatures left over. Okay. Maybe they figured they were dead, but I gotta think that must have been a goof. Maybe they just had nothing else in hand. Maybe they had only temporary lockdowns, so they were just really mad, and then they did that. I don't know. We'll never know. At least one more match right here. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to top that. Definitely. Wow. I'll take it. I must admit, it's kind of nice. I turned down the angle of the camera so you can... Oh! The cup appears. And it disappears. It appears. Whew. I don't know, it's kind of nice. It's like my arm is resting on nothing sometimes. And then you see the chat. You actually can see the phone right there. That's what I have at the moment. I'm thinking of making getting a secondary monitor so I can kind of look at the chat off to the side, but at the moment, behind the scenes, look live. That's how it is. Pretty cool stuff. Is this hand pretty cool? No, it is not. It could be another 5-color fires. It's basically the only stuff that uses Karuga as a companion. That's not something I want to see against Fires of Invention. I'll give that a go. I do have 2 lands. It is better than 1. We've got Huntmaster, maybe Hasty Shifting. I certainly don't want to keep mulliganing and getting one less. Yeah. Excuse me. Leyline Binding coming up for 1. They have all the types of lands. Hopefully not. Oh my goodness. Whoever would have guessed. Yeah. Out of left field right there. That play was something I've basically never seen before in my life. Hopefully a 3rd land at some point, or at least Marauding Raptor sticks around, and I can go Topiary Stomper for 2 with these Karplusan Forests. Going to be taking a fair bit of damage with the pings, possibly going down to 16 next turn when I make 2 green. That would be mean. It is not the dream. Yeah. Marauding Raptor, you can live. Good buddy. Fires of Invention. Not. Oh. Ooh. Good stuff. Not good stuff. It could have been worse. It is very interesting, I must say. Facing off against 2 5-color Fires of Invention decks. It's been quite uncommon for me. So twice in a night, in a stream, no less. Wonder what they're gonna grab. Could it be Atraxa when they sacrifice Leyline Binding? Gee, I wonder. Or something else big. Agent of Treachery to steal one of our land. Not. Okay. Okay, also good. We are dead at this point. I just want to see if I get the 4th land. Maybe I'll try Sarkhan's Unsealing just for the heck of it. Maybe. No. We're not coming back from that. But we do have a chance. Back to Nature is back on the menu. Zilortha? Nah. Ghalta? Nah. Sarkhan's Unsealing? I imagine I could trim this completely. Would I rather trim Ripjaw? There's not a whole lot of creatures that they have. Maybe I'll trim Ripjaw. Could be Inscription. If they get a big creature, it might be nice to fight them with one of my big dinos, which I did keep in a few of those. Ghalta especially, but we'll just hope for Back to Nature pretty much. Certainly 2 copies is quite a bit worse than 3. Don't think I've ever done 4 copies of Back to Nature just because this deck is, well, it's not the most common. It's decently common, and it is very powerful. And I don't know. I don't know, guys. Is 3 lands, 2 Huntmasters, a Back to Nature, and a Shifting Ceratops good? Yes. Yes, it is. Couldn't really ask for anything better. Huntmaster maybe getting Shifting. Hasty on turn 3. I'm going to hope for that, but if it doesn't happen, smoke them. Boom. Do the trick. Do the thing. No Leyline Binding, at least for a turn. Okay, that's good. Still going to be Topiary. I want to get ahead by 1. Nothing too bad has happened. They haven't played any enchantments, so that's good. It didn't pause whatsoever, so I don't think they have Leyline Binding. They could have played it there. They had Plain, Swamp, Forest, Mountain. They didn't have Island. Okay, so Leyline Binding did cost 2. We can take out Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which I'm almost tempted to do that. I'm definitely going to go with Shifting. I'm going to save 2. I certainly want to threaten with Back to Nature. They could play the 4th land next turn. It could be Firezone Invention, Enigmatic Incarnation. They could do lots of stuff. As long as I just always keep 2 up for Back to Nature, we should be safe at this point. Okay. Oh boy. Play another enchantment. Do it. Oh, touch the Spirit Realm. Gee, I wish I had something really good to do at this point. Oh, nuts. Man, that's really, really good. Peace. Use the Mountain for Shifting. I might need a green. I wouldn't need 2 green. Either way, we'll hit them for a bunch. And hope they don't do a whole lot next turn, but I imagine that slowed them down enough that we may be able to kill them. There we go. Maybe they have a sweeper. Of course, that would be pretty painful. They're down to 6 in range of Tyrannix Rex. I think I brought in Tyrannix Rex. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully it's not Supreme Verdict. Cross your fingers. Yeah. Maybe it's 2 Leyline Bindings. They would have to get rid of both Shiftings to save themselves. I was kind of hoping it wasn't a land. Well, we'll play Huntmaster. Actually, Karplusan Forest would finish him off. We would get to 7. Ah, nuts. Well, it seems like we're going to take him down to 1. That's pretty good. Huntmaster might finish him off. That would be, yes, a 3-for-1. Very, very nice indeed, Victor. Oh. There you go. Never leave home without back to nature. Of course, we would have been absolutely 100% dead. No chance whatsoever. I definitely think 2 is better than 1. It does the trick so good against this deck that normally would, well, you'd never have a chance without this. You could destroy some enchantments 1 or 2, but they focus so much on enchantments. Even if you take out only 2, it might be Fires of Invention and Enigmatic Incarnation. That's still pretty good. A 2-for-1. If it's anything more than a 1-for-1, it's lovely, lovely. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. Make them scared. They're probably raging. Dinos are not supposed to win against me. This is not right. That's not fair. Oh. Of course, it's a little slow. It's not cheap creatures, but I gotta try it. I gotta try it. 2 lands, 2 back to natures, the only 2 I have. I think it's worth a shot. Into Thunderherd Migration, wow. Yeah, we'll get a basic land. You can't Leyline Binding a basic. You can't sweep a basic. They have a mountain, plain, swamp, forest, and island. So Leyline Binding at the moment costs 1 white. Nothing to exile. Save the Leyline Binding for the Marauding Raptor that I still might not even play. Of course, I need a source of red if I want to play it. I think we should be pretty good. I'll still wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I'll definitely go Marauding. I was hoping for the 4th land, so I could go Marauding and then back to nature after they play something for 4. We'll see what they discard. 2 Triumphs. A Triumph and something. They want a land that enters the battlefield untapped. Huh. They're looking for Fires of Invention, maybe. Or they're scared I'm gonna do you know what. Do they have a Stomp? I'm gonna let that 2 damage happen. Maybe they had something that could have finished off Marauding. They have 5. 5 mana, wow. Elish Norn is pretty good. I like it. Do I like Carnage Tyrant? It's something with 7 power. Threatening Elish Norn, so that's alright. It is going to be pretty rough though, dealing with her. That's certainly going to be back to nature next turn. I don't want Reflection of Kiki Jiki copying something nasty. Maybe they cut some of their enchantments because they saw what I did and they just went with good bodies. Yeah, it's not so bad. I get Marauding Raptor back at the very least. They get a Traxa. That's unfortunate. Worth a shot, but that's what happens if you tap out and you can't do the thing. Or Agent of Treachery. No, it's probably a Traxa. I still got to go back to nature, and we hope for the best. Hopefully they don't get too much. And taking out Enigmatic, Incarnation, Reflection. It's not nothing. It's going to be a little bit helpful. Yeah. Would have been nice to have 6 mana. Regisaur, plus back to nature. Do we have any way out of this situation? I don't think we do at this point. Atraxa might trade with Carnage Tyrant. They might just take it because then Atraxa will attack next turn. They'll gain back the 7 life that Carnage Tyrant deals. Of course, they can always just attack with Atraxa. If I don't attack with Carnage Tyrant, at the very least, I have to attack with it. Or else it's definitely not good. Okay, that's not so bad. So we'll wait and see what they do. It was nice that they traded with it. They had no other way to get rid of it, so maybe that's why they did so. I still think they should have just taken the 7. And then they attack with Atraxa this turn, they gain it back, and no, they still have that creature. Wow. Of course, they have a Bone Crusher Giant in hand, Stomp to finish off Marauding Raptor. I may not want that. Force them to maybe do something enchantment related to deal with Marauding. At the very least, I'm going back to nature anyways. Put a stop in the second main phase. I don't want it to go to the end. Then Enigmatic Incarnation would happen and all of that stuff. We're not passing to the end yet. We still could definitely be dead. They have Elesh Norn, so that is always going to be very painful. We might be okay. Could potentially make something happen. Regisaur Alpha at the very least the next turn. Get a land though. Let's have an... Good. That's what I like to see. Leyline binding somebody, I would think. Kind of forgot again about Elesh Norn turning off all enter the battlefield effects. Not a fun time. You exile 2 things. Goes back. Would they kill us next turn? Maybe. Almost. We'll do this. We'll get back both creatures. We don't have enough to take out Elesh Norn, but we could block some stuff. We could stop some stuff, and we go down to 8. And then Stomp from Bone Crusher Giant would finish us off. So we have to do something to someone, I hope. A valiant effort. We're definitely dead at this point. I just want to play it through. The last match of the night, unfortunately, did start a little bit late, but Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, is pretty good. Certainly does the trick when you have so many fantastic enter the battlefield effects. No, we're not busting through that.
Oh man, tough stuff.
That's all good. Again, Sarkhan's Unsealing. Did the trick a little bit. Very, very powerful. Good potential, but, you know, often enough we just didn't see it, sadly. Certainly would be nice to make its thing happen more often. And you might have a bunch of matches. Maybe it goes off. It does the thing exactly how it's supposed to, back to back. Gives you a good feeling about the deck, and then you have 3 or 4 matches, 5 matches afterwards where you just never see it. Or you see it later after you've played all those creatures, and then again it just feels bad because you have to cross your fingers and hope there's creatures afterwards just to do anything. So it's good, it's bad, it's risky. It's worth a try at the very least if you have the wild cards to spare, of course. You know, if you really, really want to bite the bullet. Yeah, I like it. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had fun as much as I did watching right now, later on, whenever it is, wherever it is. Have a good rest of your time zone. Take a bite out of that like button. Victor, Pterosaurus, Cut, anybody else? Peace. Have a good one.